Pets are meant to love and be loved, treated as cherished members of the family with the expectation of unconditional affection in return. And while that's usually the case, sometimes things can take an unexpected turn, or, as you'll see in this video, a very dark one. Without further delay, here are 18 shocking cases of pets that turned on their owners in front of everyone. Number 18. The deadly reptile. Owning venomous snakes is one of the riskiest pet choices, and black mambas are among the most dangerous. Known for their potent venom and aggression, they pose a challenge even for experts. A bite from a black mamba can cause death within hours if untreated, making them a perilous pet. Alita Stacy, from Putnam Lake, New York, had a passion for snakes and kept over 70 reptiles, including a black mamba. Despite warnings, she remained close to her collection. Tragically, her boyfriend found her unconscious after the black mamba escaped its enclosure due to an unsecured padlock. The snake bit her on the forearm, and its fast-acting venom left little chance for survival. Despite medical efforts, Stacy succumbed to the effects of the venom. This tragedy highlights the dangers of keeping venomous snakes and serves as a stark reminder of the responsibilities and risks involved in owning exotic pets. Number 17. Python peril. In a tragic case involving exotic pets, Jiren Hare and Charles Darnell from the U.S. faced devastating consequences with their pet, an 8-foot albino Burmese python. These large, non-venomous constrictors can still be dangerous, especially when improperly contained. The couple kept the python in a poorly secured enclosure covered with a quilt and safety pins, allowing it to escape. Their negligence was worsened by substance use, impairing their ability to supervise the animal. In 2009, the python escaped and entered the room of their young daughter, attacking and killing her. The horrifying discovery was made the next morning when Darnell found the snake with the child. Overcome with grief, he struck the python and called emergency services, but it was too late. After the incident, the snake was relocated to an Air Force base for training purposes, and both Hare and Darnell were sentenced to prison for their gross negligence. This case underscores the dangers of keeping large reptiles without proper precautions. Number 16. The monitor lizard tragedy. Keeping exotic pets can sometimes be a dangerous choice, and Ronald Huff learned this in a tragic way. A passionate reptile enthusiast, Ronald kept several monitor lizards at home. These reptiles, known for their massive size, sharp claws, and venomous bites, are formidable predators capable of hunting animals larger than themselves, like kangaroos. Despite their risks, Ronald's fascination led him to keep them as pets, worrying his friends and family. After a period of unusual silence, a concerned neighbor requested a welfare check. When officers arrived, they heard noises inside but found the door jammed. Forcing their way in, they discovered a horrifying scene: Ronald's lifeless body near the door, surrounded by his 7 monitor lizards, which had begun feeding on him. Investigators concluded that Ronald likely fell ill and was attacked by one of his lizards as he tried to get help. This grim incident highlights the serious risks of keeping dangerous animals like monitor lizards, whose aggression and venom can pose deadly threats. Number 15. The Wilderbeast tragedy. Remember the dramatic wildebeest stampede scene from The Lion King? In real life, wildebeests are just as impressive and unpredictable. Tragically, this became evident in 2004 when Klaus Renda, an animal enthusiast who kept exotic pets like llamas, emus, and ostriches, decided to raise a baby wildebeest at home. Initially, the young wildebeest seemed energetic but harmless, even producing a calf when Klaus introduced a female. However, as the wildebeest matured, it grew more excitable and aggressive, particularly during mating season. On December 5th, Klaus went to the barnyard but didn't return. His wife, concerned after he missed lunch, found him severely injured and unresponsive. Despite emergency efforts, Klaus had died. Investigators determined the wildebeest had attacked him, striking him repeatedly in the chest and head, likely provoked during the encounter. This tragedy highlights the dangers of keeping wild animals as pets. Wildebeests, with their power and unpredictability, are not suited for domestic life. Number 14. The deadly care. The cassowary, often called the world's most dangerous bird, has a fearsome reputation due to its aggressive nature and powerful physique. Native to northern Australia, New Guinea, and nearby islands, this flightless bird wields razor-sharp talons and powerful legs, making it a serious threat even to wildlife experts. Tragedy struck Marvin Hajos, a 75-year-old Texan and experienced breeder of exotic birds, including ostriches, emus, and cassowaries. While observing his cassowaries one day, Hajos stumbled and fell, startling one of the birds. Perceiving him as a threat, the cassowary launched a deadly attack with its talons, inflicting fatal injuries. Despite managing to call 911, rescuers faced challenges reaching him as the aggressive bird continued to block access. Hejos was eventually transported to the hospital, but sadly, he succumbed to his injuries. Number 13. The deer attack. Deer often evoke gentle and serene imagery, but they can display dangerous behavior, especially during certain times of the year. Gerald Russian, a deer enthusiast, tragically experienced this reality. On his property, he kept European red stags, known for their powerful build and sharp antlers. One day, while feeding the deer, Russian startled a 500-pound stag. Agitated, the animal charged, knocking him down and pinning him against a fence with its antlers. The stag continued its attack, causing severe injuries. Emergency responders faced challenges reaching Russian due to the aggressive animal, ultimately having to euthanize the stag. Sadly, Russian succumbed to his injuries before help could reach him. Number 12. The Wapiti incident. The wapiti, a rare hybrid of a red deer and elk, is an exotic animal that fascinates wildlife enthusiasts. Pat McDonald, an Australian, kept one in an enclosure on his property, but this decision turned tragic. While feeding the wapiti one day, McDonald was suddenly attacked. Hearing his screams, his wife Mandy and their son Ethan rushed outside. Mandy entered the enclosure to help but was also attacked, while Ethan ran to call the police. A nearby ambulance officer intervened, and police tranquilized the wapiti to rescue Mandy, who suffered severe injuries and required airlifting to a better-equipped hospital. Experts suggest hormonal changes or a perceived threat triggered the attack. This incident highlights the dangers of keeping wild animals, even in captivity. Number 11. The mountain lion dilemma. Mountain lions, also called cougars or pumas, are powerful predators and a potential danger in the wild. Despite the risks, some people keep them as pets, like Amber Michelle Couch from Texas. Although Texas law permits owning mountain lions with proper permits and health regulations, Amber failed to comply. Her lion lacked required vaccinations and was kept in a cramped cage, causing it to become agitated. Ignoring warnings from friends and authorities, Amber's negligence led to tragedy when her young nephew got too close to the cage. The lion attacked, leaving the boy with severe facial injuries requiring a long hospital stay. Authorities intervened, seizing the lion, issuing fines, and banning Amber from owning pets unless she could meet legal standards. The mountain lion was euthanized to ensure public safety. This incident underscores the dangers of keeping wild animals as pets without proper care. Number 10. The monkey rage monkeys. Monkeys may seem playful and entertaining as pets, but their behavior can be unpredictable and dangerous. Naga Muhammad, a 72-year-old from Malaysia, had a pet monkey that was his constant companion. Together, they often climbed coconut trees to collect coconuts, a routine they shared daily. One day, Naga promised his 29-year-old son, Mood, to bring home coconuts as usual. However, during the task, the monkey suddenly turned aggressive and attacked Naga, biting his arm and severing an artery. Tragically, Naga succumbed to his injuries. When Mood noticed his father's absence and unusual silence, he went to check and found the devastating scene. The monkey then attacked Mood as well, but he survived. Neighbors alerted authorities, who captured the monkey. It was later rehabilitated and released back into the wild. Number 9. The catastrophic cat incident. Janet V., a reclusive woman who found comfort in her pets after her husband left a year ago, lived a solitary life with her dogs and cats. As weeks passed without any sign of Janet, her accumulating mail raised concern among neighbors. They called the authorities for a welfare check. Due to overgrown vegetation and clutter, officers struggled to enter her home, eventually scaling a ladder to reach a window. Inside, they discovered Janet had passed away from a medical condition, and her body had been left unattended. While some of her cats had survived, they had resorted to eating parts of her body. The surviving cats were taken to a shelter for care and adoption. This tragic event highlights the risks of living alone with pets and the need for regular check-ins. Number 8. The hidden tiger of Harlem. Antoine Yates' dangerous decision to keep a Siberian Bengal tiger named Ming in his Harlem apartment shocked many. A fan of big cats, Yates secretly housed Ming in the high-rise until an emergency room visit revealed the truth. Yates claimed severe arm lacerations were caused by a pit bull, but the injuries indicated a much larger animal. It was later revealed that Ming attacked Yates during a dispute with another pet. A month later, an anonymous tip led police to Yates's apartment, where they found an agitated Ming. After a risky operation involving tranquilizers, authorities seized the tiger and sent her to an Ohio sanctuary, where she lived peacefully until her death. Despite the danger, Yates insisted he'd keep Ming again if allowed. Number 7. The fatal fury. Pit bulls are often misunderstood, and Scarface's story highlights this. A rescue dog adopted by Brenda and Ishmael Guerrero, Scarface had a troubled past. Despite their best efforts to rehabilitate him, things took a tragic turn. One day, while Mrs. Guerrero tried to dress him, Scarface attacked. Her husband rushed to help, but Scarface turned on him too. Their son attempted to intervene with a knife, but it wasn't enough. Terrified neighbors and the Guerreros called 911, but even tasers failed to stop the dog. Tranquilizers were eventually used to subdue him, but Scarface was euthanized to prevent further harm. Mrs. Guerrero was hospitalized for weeks due to her injuries.